it's Off Air with Sisanie. So this is actually very timely because a few days ago I had Dr. Nicole Avena on my podcast, Twinning with Sisanie. And we were just kind of discussing how flu season is coming up and ways to prevent getting sick, how to get rid of the cold or the flu quickly, what to do with your kids, things like that. I want you guys to listen to the podcast for a little bit and see for yourself.
Well, she's an author, expert in all the fields of nutrition, diet, and addiction. Dr. Nicole Avena, thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Oh, I'm really happy to do it. Thanks for having me on.
I feel like top of mind for everybody, especially parents right now, is flu season. Why is it, would you say, that it's more likely for people to get sick as fall rolls around?
Well, there's so many things that are happening. What we see is that so many of these viruses that are out there seem to come about with the change of seasons. And, people are spending more times indoors or more close contact with each other. And so the spread of these viruses and germs is just so much greater than it is, when we have warmer times of the year.
How would you say that maybe we could keep ourselves from getting sick?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, when you're indoors, it's always a good idea to try not to spend too much time indoors. Open up a window if you can. Let some of that fresh air in so that any germs or viruses that are floating around will, have a chance to escape. Also, it's important to do the things that we know we're supposed to do, like wash our hands. But it's also important to wash your face. A lot of people don't realize that we tend to touch our face a lot. And, a lot of those germs can reside right on our face. And so it's important to make sure you're washing your face regularly, too.
Oh, my gosh. I am so bad at that.
I know. Well, now you have another reason to do it, right? It's just, if it can help you stay well, it's really, the best thing for everybody.
What about makeup wipes? Are those just as effective as washing your face?
Well, you know what? Using soap is actually better because the ingredients in soap are going to kill all those nasty germs. But
Yeah.
makeup wipes could be, the first pass.
Right. All right. Now, I have two kids. I have 16-month-old twins. My biggest issue when it comes to them getting sick is like if one gets sick, it's inevitable that the other one will get sick within the same week. Is there anything I can do as a mother to prevent that, or is it even worth it to try to quarantine one?
Well, there are some things that you can do. First of all, one thing is to try to make sure that people don't get sick or people who are in your home aren't bringing illness into the home. And so the best way to do that is to just try to stay your healthiest, eating well, having a good diet. Also, taking a supplement is very important. And especially in these winter months, so loading up on vitamin C is a good idea. And you could do that for the adults in the house and also for the kids. So for the kids, they make lots of different options for vitamin C tablets, even for toddlers, like Vitafusion makes Little Critters, which is a vitamin that's a gummy that little kids can have.
Oh, yeah, they would love that.
Yeah, and I use it actually as a little treat. So what I'll do, because I also have a preschooler, and so I'll often say, after you have, breakfast or lunch, then you can have your treat. And they think it's candy because they just don't know any better yet.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I never knew that I could introduce vitamins to them at this age. I guess it just never really crossed my mind. I mean, probably because I'm not a great vitamin taker myself. But, toddlerhood's the time to start. Even, there's vitamin supplements available for even little ones, but certainly for preventing colds and flu, starting off at the toddler age is a good time to introduce it. Now, what about people that have kids that are a little bit older? Yours is in a preschool, but anybody who's in elementary school even, how do parents try to imply good habits for them when they're at school to try to not get germs?
Yeah, I can speak to this one from experience, too, because I have two kids. I have a 10-year-old and I also have a 4-year-old. Mm-hmm. And so for the older one, it really comes down to teaching them those hygiene skills and teaching them to, politely avoid people that look like they're sick. So if they're sitting next to their best friend at lunch and their best friend is sneezing and coughing, then they have to, kind of come up with polite ways to sort of maybe suggest that they go to the nurse or, avoid contact with the germs. I think for the older ones especially, it comes down to really just teaching them those skills that we use as adults to make sure that we don't get exposed to these different types of germs that are in the environment.
Of course, of course. Now, can you speak a little bit about the flu shot? I know there's so many people are either for it or against it. Is it effective? Is it not effective? What is your take on the flu shot, and do you think people should get one? Yeah, my take on it is that it's effective and that people should get it. It's going to allow you to get an immunity to whatever the most popular strains of the flu happen to be for that particular season.
Mm-hmm.
And so while it's not a 100% guarantee, it really does cut down dramatically on the incidence of getting the flu. And, we tend to think about the flu as something that, oh, wow, if I get it, and I'll just suffer through it. And that might be the case for adults who have, really healthy immune systems, but little kids often can't and can get a lot of serious complications from the flu.
Oh.
So it's really important that, you get the kids vaccinated, and also the adults in your home also get vaccinated as well so that they don't bring it into the home.
Yeah, they're actually this week, I want to say that a law is being passed that doctors can no longer kind of have bogus notes to kind of get kids out of vaccinations. Did you read about that or hear about that this week?
I did hear a little bit about that. I think they're starting to come, down a little bit on, some of the exemptions that are out there. And I think that that's a good thing. I think obviously parents should have choice in the matter, but I also think it's important to educate people about the benefits of vaccinations, especially when it comes to preventing unnecessary deaths. I mean, there's, many children each year, unfortunately, die from flu-related complications.
Yeah.
And so it's something that we need to really take seriously.
Yeah, that's something that I learned as being a new mom, that they were like, a fever is bad. The flu is bad. If it's like a fever gets past, whatever, 102, 103, you want to take when they're infants, it's like they probably have to be hospitalized.
It's a different story.
Why is it that babies are so much more prone to being hospitalized than an older kid?
Well, much like, older adults, babies have compromised immune systems. They haven't really, been on Earth long enough to build up that tolerance and that immunity to many of the different things in our environment. And so as they get older, they're more likely to be able to fight off these different illnesses and germs, and their body can, recover, where they're able to just kind of get treatment at home or get treatment through the doctor's office. But little kids, babies and toddlers especially, they're really at risk for developing complications. And so that's often the case as to why they have to get hospitalized, or why, you really shouldn't, kind of wait it out. If your baby develops a fever, it's important to talk to the doctor right away to get advice on what the next step should be.
Is this why, so my twins, whenever they do I haven't actually gotten the flu, thank God, but whenever they get a cold, it lasts for 2 weeks, now sometimes 3 weeks, the runny nose, just like it just doesn't stop. And is that because they just don't know how to get rid of it?
Exactly. It lingers, and it really, it's something you'll see as they get older, because I see this now with my older daughter. She can recover kind of like how my husband and I would from an illness, a couple of days down, and then you're feeling back to yourself. But the little ones, it takes longer. And again, it comes back to this whole fact that they really have underdeveloped immune systems early in life, and it just takes a bit of time and exposure to these different things in our environment for them to get up to speed and to be able to fight off these things like we can as adults.
What's some advice that you would give parents if they have a sick toddler for a speedy recovery? Is there any sort of home remedy that helps?
Well, honestly, I think the best advice is to just devote yourself to making that baby feel better. If it means, taking off of work, and if it means canceling all other, activities, do it. Because the best way to get them to recover is to really just pay attention and, be able to focus on, getting fluids in them, making sure that, they're getting rest. And that might mean that you have to, cancel your day and lay on the sofa with them, because if that's the only way they're going to do it, then you got to do it.
It's
but
so
really,
true.
Getting them to rest and getting them hydrated is the best way to speed up the recovery.
There's been so many nights when they do have a cold that they are uncomfortable, so they can't sleep at night. But the only thing that makes them comfortable is if we're holding them, and they're almost like sitting up,
Yeah.
And I've just literally sat in like the rocker in their nursery, just slept the whole night, basically sitting up holding them, because it's like the only thing where they actually will get rest. So what are some speedy recoveries that you would say for adults?
Well, so for adults, again, it really comes down to very similar to what we suggest for babies and toddlers. It's to get at rest. I think, part of the problems with adults is that they try to power through things, right? So if you have a little bit of a cold or you're not feeling that great, you'll say, I'll just take it easy at work today. But the reality is you're better off just staying home and allowing yourself to heal and to recover than, having this be a lingering type of illness where you're going to be fighting it off for a couple of days. And so taking care of yourself, getting rest, and again, drinking lots of fluids and staying hydrated is really key to getting over things when you're an adult too.
What about over-the-counter medications like Dayquil or NyQuil? Are those does that get rid of the cold, or does that just like cover the symptoms up?
Those are going to cover the symptoms up. So, you can, obviously there's lots of different options out there. One of the things that I often suggest that I find to work really well is if you feel a cold coming on, or if, like, let's say, your significant other or one of your children has a cold, if you can get ahead of it yourself by loading up on vitamin C, that can be a really good way to, avoid potentially catching it, or to start to, build up some immunity in anticipation of getting it.
For sure.
I like Frunutta makes a vitamin C tablet that's sublingual, and it's really teeny tiny. You stick it under your tongue. And so, I think it's great because it's easy to take and you don't have to, mess around with, big bottles and things like that. And so that's really a good way to kind of just get ahead of it.
What was the name of it?
It's called Frunutta.
Frunutta. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down literally right now. I'm so bad at taking vitamins, and I want to get better at, especially right now that flu season is here. And just basically the takeaway here is vitamin C. Vitamin C, everybody.
Vitamin C.
Well, Dr. Nicole Avena, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule and talking to us and just getting the word out about, basically flu season, cold season, and all that stuff for everybody listening.
Oh, thank you so much.
And where can anybody find you? Do you have socials or a website?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You can find me on social at Dr. Nicole Avena, Dr. Nicole Avena. And then also on my website, drnicoleavena.com, there's links to all different articles about health and wellness and nutrition related to toddlers and babies and adults, and links to my books and things like that.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Okay, thanks. You too.
Well, there you have it. So hopefully that helps you out with some tips and tricks to get your family through flu season and through these next few months when it eventually does start getting cold and we are trying to fight the cold and the flu and all that stuff. Comment below. Let me know if you have any home, you know what I love? I love home remedies. Let me know if you have any tricks of your own to stop yourself from having this itch in your throat turn into something worse. So let me know. Comment below. And until next time, guys. Bye.